Hello and welcome everyone to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests, our lovely patrons, and our awesome YouTube audience to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined by my good friend and GVG co-founder Ash Paulson and our very special guest, Twitch streamer Kenshin Cloud. Welcome, Kenshin. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm
great.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
We're hanging out with you. We got you on TNT today. We couldn't be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Excited.
Oh, I like that frequent positron, Kenshin Impact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Ever since that game dropped, ever since, I've been getting that all the time. And people jump in and they think they're original. Like, oh, I got a great nickname for you. I'm like, let me guess. I bet I know what it is. And yeah.
One of my best friends always trolls me by calling Breath of the Wild shitty Genshin Impact, and I know he's kidding, but I'm just like, but it still just twists the knife just a little bit every time he says it. I'm like, why would you say that?
There are definitely some visual some consistencies there. Yeah, I could see it.
Apparently our volume's a bit low.
I just fixed that. It should be a little bit better
Okay.
now. Apologies for that. Apologies for that.
No worries.
Just all. I'm just happy to have my camera working. So obviously you don't have all the fancy stuff that Steve typically does. But hey, the camera's working. So apparently it works a little nicer with 4K capture utility. I'm still working on getting, so I don't have to worry about all this stuff and getting all the fancy stuff that Steve has. But I will get there eventually. Also, I'm going to crank up Ash's audio. Let me know if that's better for him. In the meantime, I am amazed I'm awake.
Yeah, you've had quite a night, huh, man?
Yeah, it's for a long story short, because I know a lot of people are going to be asking, including Claxton with a $4.99 super chat, just asking, how is Kai? So for those who aren't aware, yesterday during my stream of Dragon Quest VIII, towards the end, I got a call from Amy, and she was over at a friend's place just having a nice little kids get-together with another set of parents we know. And Kai was set up in a kind of, not a pseudo high chair. And he, rather than like an actual high chair, it's more one of those bar chairs with the long legs and the back and everything. Yeah. And you just have a special thing that hooks him in there. So it keeps him nice and set, almost like a little booster seat that you'd see at restaurants. But the problem was, he's a strong little guy and he decided to push off the counter. And when Amy wasn't looking, and just fell back and unfortunately hit his head. So obviously cried. He has a bit of a bump there. He is, she got him home, called up some people just to see how he is, and all the signs where he seemed to be okay. He was acting like he always did. Once he was calmed down by that point, just a little tender. But the last night he, just wouldn't sleep for more than an hour at a time. And we got him up at one point and he was breathing, it felt like he was breathing heavy. So we got worried. We called up the pediatrician thing, and they said that when they found out that he fell from higher than 3 feet, they were like, get him to the emergency room. And they're like, oh God, he's like, we screwed up by not taking him right away. Yeah. That nice little panic moment. But we got him there. They looked at him, and he's just fine. There's no swelling. There's no anything that we have to worry about. He might have had a light concussion, but kids bounce back from concussions way better than we do at our age. We're old and slow. He is on fast processing power. He's doing that blast processing. Nice. But yeah, so we went there at like 3:30 in the morning. Didn't get back until about 6:30 today, and slept as much as we can, but it's only so much that Kai can let you. So Amy and I are definitely dragging and just still a little stressed from all of it. So if I'm a little low energy, that is why.
Oh, glad everything's okay.
Don't worry about it. Ken and I will bring the energy in to make up for it, man. It's all good.
That's why I sought out Kenshin. Like, this guy knows how to bring the party.
Hell yeah.
little overhyped sometimes, get noise complaints.
It happens.
Yeah.
But
hey, I can't say anything. I mean, after my sore reaction, I can't say anything about anybody overhyping or anything or yelling too loud. I'm surprised we didn't get noise complaints that morning. That was shocking to me.
I have a YouTube video where they first revealed Tifa for 7 remake, and I just like lost it, and I'm just like, it was
they nailed it.
You have good taste, my friend. Tifa is indeed hype as hell. Best FF7 character.
I was just waiting.
I love Tifa. Hell yeah!
Come on, let's show her. She finally is like the 3rd reveal. We haven't seen her yet, and finally showed her.
And she's the most fun to play as, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no,
by far, all over the
place. Yeah,
yeah.
Basically, beat him up at that point, which I'm down for.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, just overwhelm, fill the stagger gauge, and fight over. Boom.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I love it. Before we get back to the actual news, though, we do have our sponsor for today, which is the Game Orb. The Game Orb is a YouTube channel that brings commentary and gameplay footage from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming systems. While they are still running Let's Plays of Splatoon 2 and Super Mario 64 from the 3D All-Stars collection, they are also adding new games like Sonic Colors Ultimate and Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Also, there are now shorter videos and a playlist called the Game Orb Minis for clips that are highlighted. So be sure to subscribe to the Game Orb at the link in the description. And I know Ash is probably posting a link into the chat as well.
Know it.
And we're still working on getting on to 300 to 400 subscribers. Currently, they're at 363, so we're making pretty good progress, I'd say. Getting
Hell
in
yeah!
there, sending that
Please.
support.
I just pinned a link. Yeah, I just pinned links to the Game Orb and Galactic Reaper's channels in the YouTube chat. If everybody watching could please check out their content, subscribe, would really appreciate it. The Game Orb has been supporting Good Vibes Gaming from the very beginning at the TNT sponsorship tier over on our Patreon, and we can't say enough how much we appreciate that. So please show the Game Orb some of the GV Gang's love and subscribe and check out their awesome content. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Game Orb, as always, for your incredibly generous continued sponsorship of the show. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we one more thing before we get to the news, we got a few super chats. First up, FlameChan73 with a $2 super chat asking Masahiro Sakurai versus Bobby Kotick. That's a no-brainer.
Is this a joke? Of course, it's Sakurai all day, every day, baby.
That is,
come on,
not even close.
Yeah.
So
my vote goes to Sakurai all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Jacob Tucker with a $2 super chat saying weekly events in Smash should have ended with SMT 5. Fair.
I mean, weekly events in Smash should have ended never. No, I'm kidding. Of course they have to end someday, but I'm so sad that that's like the final nail in the coffin. I'm going to miss new events, and I agree. Dread, it was cool to end on Dread, but would have been nice to end on Shin Megami Tensei 5. Or you know what? Maybe it would have been nice to end on Breath of the Wild 2 sometime way down the line next year, so I could have had a few more spirits to collect until then. But alas, such as it is, it wasn't meant to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yep. Thank you so much. And I think that about takes care of it. So let's go ahead and move on to our first story, which it's kind of other than one particular thing, kind of a slow news day, as evidenced by the fact that we're actually getting a chance to talk about this game. So let's go ahead and bring it up. So, Mystical Ninja Goemon Zero, the lost English translation of this game, has actually been found by the Hidden Palace, and it's another example of lost games media just getting a chance to shine. And it is a heck of a story. Like, you click on their actual rundown of it, and it is quite the article, just pages and pages. But this is basically a PlayStation 2 Goemon game in development for 3 years before being canceled in 2005 when the game failed the certification process at Sony for unknown reasons, despite being almost finished. And it has even more significant value because the cancellation was enough to bankrupt Working Designs, with the studio announcing its closure in December. Oof. Which, God, that sucks, because Working Designs was amazing back in the day. So
they were, yeah. I didn't know that this was what bankrupted them.
I didn't either.
I had not, in fact, heard of this at all, this PS2 Goemon game. And this is awesome that there's a lost localization of this game. I love Goemon. I wish Steve was here to talk about this because he also loves Goemon. Mm-hmm. And this is cool. I had no idea that this exists. And looking at these screenshots, I'm like, man, I would have loved to have played this.
It looks great.
Yeah. I think I heard something about this in like a really old PSN magazine, but I definitely didn't know that that's what took the whole company down. That's sad to hear.
Mm-hmm. That's just it's such a shame. It's the development of the version is apparently relatively unknown given that it didn't receive a lot of press. Only a few magazines and some industry people got to see the English version of the game, and because of this, prototypes of the game would be extremely hard to find. However, a few months ago, Hidden Palace was able to obtain 2 prototypes, and the latest build is perhaps the very last build shortly before Working Design's closure. The prototype even came with a cover insert that was kindly restored by some of their friends over at Frank Cifaldi and GameHistory.org. So you can even see what it would have looked like brought over. And Working Designs was great at localizing lesser known Japanese games at the time. This is straight down their alley, and this is a shame. This sucks.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting too. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just wonder what happened that it failed certification at Sony.
It's kind of unclear exactly what happened to cause the game to fail cert. But what's even potentially more interesting is that this was, I'm reading a bit about it now, that this was going to mark a major departure for the series. Like Goemon was going to be the only playable character. You wouldn't be able to switch between him and his friends like Ibisumaru and Yai. It was going to be a 2D RPG, sporting a leveling system, an inventory management system, and even character customization. And he was going to have a non-playable white tiger cub named Kotora. And then, I guess right. And I guess the game's tone and aesthetic were also going to be a little bit different, taking itself more seriously by kind of emphasizing the lore and plot more than previous games. So that tracks with what you said, Chill Cobra, in our live audience patron chat, saying, wasn't this going to be a more serious take on the Goemon games? Yes, apparently it was. And while I do like the Goemon series' signature humor, I would be interested in a slightly more, like a slightly darker take on this series. Just more love for the series in general.
Yeah.
How many Goemon games did we get? I think we only gotten 3, or is there actually more?
Well, we got Legend of the Mystical Ninja on Super NES. I think we only ever got one of the N64 games officially in the West.
Really? Because we know we got Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, and then Goemon's Great Adventure. So I thought there was 2.
Adventure.
Oh, maybe there were 3 N64 games, and one of them we didn't get, not 2.
Yeah, there's only 2 that I know of. I don't know if there was one that didn't make it to North America.
Right.
Unfortunately, the Goemon games just did not sell too well, because even like Goemon's Great Adventure sold 160,000 copies worldwide. So you can kind of see its death knell. It was just too unique to really stand out. And
perhaps
unfortunately, this other one, this Zero, probably would have been enough to really change the tide, I think.
Okay, I was mistaken. We did get both N64 games in the West as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was most of the others we didn't get, and there were a lot, like for the Famicom and Super Famicom, even the Game Boy Color, PlayStation, that we never got outside of Japan, but we did get the N64 games.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we did get the Super Nintendo. We got the first Super Nintendo game, I believe. So this is a series with a really complicated release history outside of Japan, but if and when you can make inroads into checking the series out via the games that did come outside of Japan, you should, because this is a really, really cool series that kind of highlights, I would say, a somewhat hidden, unknown part of Konami's history for people who aren't really into Konami's output. And it's a really cool series, so check it out if you can.
Mm-hmm. I think this article is well worth reading. I'll go ahead and link it into both chats so you can check it out in your off another time if you'd like, because at the very least it's a fascinating part of gaming history and worth checking out. But it's just kind of depressing, because it's like, man, there could have been this other cult classic Goemon game to play, because looking at it kind of reminds me of I know you love it. It came with the Final Fantasy VIII demo, Ash, PS1 game. Square.
Brave Fencer Musashi.
Brave Fencer Musashi.
Brave Fencer Musashi is a classic. I adore that game, man. I wish Square would bring it back. And not more akin to the first game.
Not as a samurai legend, more of as a Brave Fencer.
Musashi Samurai Legend was not great. Not great. But it is very similar in tone, I would say, to Brave Fencer Musashi. still kind of its own thing. And I would say Goemon is more deeply rooted in traditional Japanese aesthetics, maybe, but certainly Musashi has kind of a similar general sense to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and move on to our second story of the night, which, are we seeing a change of guard? I don't know. Let's find out.
Nice.
So, in the UK, Call of Duty Vanguard is down 40% compared to last year's Call of Duty release. And that is kind of shocking. I don't know why. I haven't seen anybody say why it is underperforming. From what I can tell, this is just from Game Industry that's reporting on it. I want to say if it's because people are upset at Activision, because obviously, but I'm not that confident in people that this actually is working.
I mean,
yeah.
I would say traditionally from what I've seen, I don't play a lot of shooters on stream, but I do have a big friend base that plays a lot of them. They're big Call of Duty heads. I don't know anybody who prefers the World War II ones. I personally, as far as Call of Duty goes, I mainly support the Infinity Ward ones because they're like the original. They do it the best in my opinion. And I don't know, this one kind of slipped under the radar for me. And I know like last year was a Black Ops, and that's a hugely popular, well, Cold War. And so I'm wondering if that just got an extra bump because of the name behind it, and people are maybe holding off on this one. There's also a bunch of other shooters coming out this year, I know. Mm-hmm. So it could be a lot of extra elements. I mean, like Halo we're going to be talking about, and Battlefield and everything. So could just be competition. I don't know. But I mean, you could also probably argue with a new console coming out, maybe more sales, maybe less. I don't know how that would necessarily affect it. You'd think more, but yeah, being down is surprising.
Yeah. I mean, it's welcome to see, just especially in the wake of everything that's been happening with Activision Blizzard. But I agree with Derek here. I'm not sure I have enough faith in the general game enthusiast for the reason to be because of all the allegations. I want that to be the reason, and they deserve it. But I feel like it might just be general series fatigue. There might be also a backlash against this game in particular because, as always, there are people out there complaining that the game has too much diversity, has too much representation, which is bullshit. But there are people out there who feel that way. I can't ever understand the reasoning for thinking diversity and representation are a bad thing, but those people are out there and upset that this game includes those things. So maybe there's a bit of a targeted backlash toward Vanguard in particular. But I want it to be for the reasons of, the horrific company culture that employees there have had to endure. I just don't know if it is.
And certain franchises, certain games, certain genres attract certain types of people sometimes, and who knows? So, I mean, I agree. Like, I used to be a big, when I first started in streaming, I played a lot of Blizzard games, and then with the whole Activision takeover and everything that went over there, I kind of diverted more into my real passions, like Final Fantasy 14 and other stuff. So, yeah, it's it could be a lot of things. Maybe it's everything, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a mix of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it shows just how freaking huge Call of Duty still is, that they are down 40% over last year's game, 26% physically and 44% digitally. Yet they still debuted at number 1.
Yeah,
that is
right.
Insane just how much money they make.
Is important. Yeah.
Yep. Every year there's going to be a Madden, there's going to be a FIFA, there's going to be a Call of Duty, right?
Yep. And look at that. Sure there's Call of Duty, there's FIFA. I don't see Madden yet, but this is the UK, so that's not going to count.
Yeah.
They're not going to do much there.
No, not as much, no.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, regardless of the reason, this is probably a good thing. I think Call of Duty, I'm not a COD fan, so I can't speak with too much authority here, but I have long felt that it needs to not be annualized anymore, and maybe each one needs a little bit more time in the oven to make each one stand out a little more from other entries. And maybe it's time, maybe this is a sign that maybe they need to just, go back to the drawing board a bit and not push a new one out every single year. But again, even though sales are down 40%, with the context Derek just mentioned, they're still laughing all the way to the bank. So.
Right. Well, I mean, they kind of did that by having, I think it's 4, maybe even 5 studios now that work on different ones. So like they put years of development into each one, but to the consumer, it's just boom, 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 boom. So
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're absorbing more. Like we just lost 2 great studios to basically be Call of Duty machines at Activision.
Yeah.
Toys for
Still
Bob.
waiting on Spyro 4.
Yeah.
And Vicarious.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
I would have thought by this point the annualization of Call of Duty would have killed this franchise by now because it killed Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
But for whatever, and it killed Skylanders. But for whatever reason, this is unkillable. But I guess it's because it's guns. Guns.
I feel
shoot.
I feel like there may be an
Special
element
for that.
of just the added cost associated with Guitar Hero and Skylanders. You know, that's
True.
You're
That is
asking
also
to
true.
shell out more for additional hardware for those series. Whereas with Call of Duty, everything you need is basically in the game itself. You don't need to buy peripherals. You don't need to buy figures, right? So it's asking slightly less of the consumer.
Yeah, a lot less cost to initiate, and licensing does tend to rack up because they have to renew that. So it makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. There is also gaming industry wondering if the free to play Call of Duty Warzone is also eating into it a little bit because it's free to play, and of course we also have Battlefield and Halo, which we'll get to.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
I have not played Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2. Played with a friend.
The best one.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. I added out on top.
Yeah.
I haven't played since the original Modern Warfare, and I had a lot of fun late nights playing multiplayer on COD4 Vanilla with friends, but I haven't really touched the series since then.
Yep, those are the Infinity Ward ones. Those are, like I said, those are the only ones I ever buy because the ones most of my friends buy, and they're generally, in my opinion, the best ones.
I had a lot. It's shocking when I think back how much fun I had with those games because everyone knows I'm not a shooter guy, so I typically don't play a lot of shooters. Certainly not online, but man, playing COD4 with friends late into the night, we had a lot of fun with vanilla COD4. Man,
I had so many late nights with original Modern Warfare and Resistance: Fall of Man around the same launch time. Those two shooters consumed my life for like a year and a half.
I love it. Resistance was fun. I only played the single player, but I did enjoy Resistance.
Oh, so good.
Multiplayer
not as good.
True. I will say for me the multiplayer shooter that sucked me in was Bad Company 2. I want a Bad Company 3, but we're never going to get it. It feels like
no. Doesn't seem like it. No, I had the original.
Yeah. Oh well. So yeah, I don't think Call of Duty is going down anytime soon, but. Perhaps the winds are changing, or people are just sick of World War II. Maybe certain subsets of the fans are don't like fighting Nazis. Weird.
These are UK sales too, right?
That is true.
Not worldwide. Yeah.
That is true. So I don't want to do anything like that. I may have went too far there. Whatever. Anyway, apologies, but before we move on, let's. We got a super chat from Hendrix Trog, which is with $4.99 donation, saying, pleasantly surprised by the backwards compatibility update Xbox announced. Sad it's the last one, but happy to see 50 Cent Blood in the Sand supported. Did not realize that. That is a wild set.
and I'm glad. I didn't think that the 50 Cent games were very popular at all from what I remembered, so I'm glad someone out there is really happy that Blood on the Sand got supported in the backwards compatibility
updates.
updates.
Blood on the Sand has this weird cult classic aspect to it. I think so.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Fair enough. But thank you, Hendrix Trog.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And then Flame Chan back once again with a $2 super chat saying Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus Joker from Persona. I don't think Ash has ever watched JoJo. Kenshin, have you watched JoJo?
I know of it, but I haven't.
I have not. No.
Okay, I will just say JoJo's broken, extremely fast and can stop time. So Joker has stands no chance.
Yeah, just based on what I've heard by like cultural osmosis, like anime cultural osmosis, I feel like it's not going to be Joker here. I feel like Joker doesn't win this fight, but I can't say with any, sense of actually having watched JoJo.
Seems like a moveset that's kind of broken. So yeah.
A little bit. Like he is just the win button. Like most shonen. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next story, which, hey, speaking of Persona, fans of this game hate mentioning Persona. Let's do it. Shin Megami Tensei V is off to a strong sales start. Once again in UK, because UK is the only one that offers us data, so we just have to go based off them. But Chris Dring over at GameIndustry.biz was tweeting about it, saying, okay, people gave me some good suggestions in which to compare Shin Megami Tensei V to. It did 60% more sales at launch than Bravely Default 2, 43% more sales than Monster Hunter Stories 2, and 23% more sales than Tales of Arise. That's box sale, the UK box sales. So by their estimation, it's doing pretty well.
I would say so, yeah.
That's really, really nice to see. It's also kind of surprising. I didn't, just given that Shin Megami Tensei has not managed to break through in quite the same way in the West as Persona has, and that's not an indictment on the quality of Shin Megami Tensei compared to Persona. I'm not calling it out. Shin Megami Tensei is great. All I'm saying is that it doesn't have as much overall just awareness that Persona has managed to get, the level of awareness that Persona has managed to achieve in the West. So despite that, seeing that Shin Megami Tensei V has done this well in its UK launch, that's awesome. And I think Shin Megami Tensei fans should be pretty happy about this.
Maybe Persona is to thank for that. Maybe hand in hand there.
Could be.
I mean, the games. I've seen a lot of trailers on 5, and I really want to pick it up, but I am behind on it. I have an original PS2 copy, and I remember when those were impossible to find. I worked at a GameStop, and one was traded in, and they didn't even have a code for it. So it's like going for like $100, $120 on eBay, and it trades in for $1. I was like, well, I'm gonna pick this up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I loved it, and I need to catch up to get to this one, but I mean. They're great games. I think it's just like we're saying, it comes down to awareness and just eyes on different markets. So I'm happy to see this. I think they're great games.
It seemed like it had the best chance of breaking through for the series. 4 kind of got the ball rolling, kind of like 3 got the ball rolling for Persona, and this seems to be doing all right. I want to pick up SMT5 at some point. It's just time. You just never know when I'm going to have enough time to do it. But I can see why Shin Megami Tensei is a harder sell for Americans than Persona, because Persona is generally a little bit easier at this point, and it has that sort of comfort of like, I'm a Japanese student going through life and also fighting monsters. There's a fun hook to that. You kind of have that SMT5, but it has a grander scale where it's, order versus chaos, demons versus
typical
angels.
JRPG.
Yeah. It is also notoriously difficult.
Thankfully,
they
hard.
have options now, but it's still one of those things like it has a lot of problems. And even their tagline is "Dethrone God."
Yep.
Sure.
Typical JRPG themes.
That is just the classic JRPG.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. Dethrone God.
Mhm.
It's funny, Steve was telling us that the easy mode, though, in Shin Megami Tensei V goes way too far the other way into making it almost effortless, which, I mean, there's certainly a place for that, but he was saying that the level, the gulf in difficulty between like the easiest mode and the one up from that is shockingly large. And,
I feel like they do that as a meme, almost like, oh, you want an easy mode? Here you go.
Maybe. Yeah. I love this. Juan in our live audience chat says, "Dethrone God," and Frequent Positron replied with, "The same could be said of all religions," referencing, of course, the Symphony of the Night opening. But I love that classic JRPG tagline.
Yep.
I will say I have been seeing some amazing screen caps from the Demon Conversations. One mentioned like the ESRB, like the monsters, like there's this thing called the ESRB that is not so good. Another one, we're going into post-show territory with this one, but it's just so weird. I gotta mention it. I saw one today where you're negotiating one is like, it's asking, what do you think? And the options are, we're going to party, you're going to join me. And the last one, I'm going to get you horny. So you
must have been talking to the GVG crew.
Yeah. Then in follow up to that, the demon's gaze fell to your conspicuously blank groin. The demon left, laughing their head off.
Wow.
Oh man.
So apparently the conversations in this game go wild. It is
Self-aware dialogue is great.
Oh man. Ditto Malo Infinite in our live audience chat says, I like the one that asks top or bottom.
That is another one. Yeah.
I had no idea. That's
this
amazing.
This is way more M-rated than the Persona games.
I knew it was more M-rated, but I didn't know it was more M-rated in that specific way. That's pretty funny. I did not realize. I would like to check this out. As always, for me, it comes down to a matter of how much time I have to play various long games. But while I didn't play Shin Megami Tensei 4, I helped localize the art book for it when I was working in Udon. So when you do art books like that, you absorb the story just by going through the book and helping to edit all the text. And the story in SMT 4 was so good. I was couldn't wait to see what would happen as I went through the art book.
Right.
So I already know the storytelling quality in this series. It's just a matter of having time to play this game. But I gotta say, the more I look at these numbers, if you really think about it, the fact that it debuted higher than Tales of Arise,
and Monster Hunter Stories 2, which are huge sellers this year.
Yeah, like Bravely Default 2, not quite as big a story because I think the general perception of that game is that it was kind of a step back from Bravely Second. At least that's how I feel about it. But
I've heard a lot of conflicting things.
But man, for it to debut higher than Monster Hunter and Tales out of the gate, that's great news for series fans. I think this really bodes well for the viability of this series here in the West, going forward for sure. I feel like with this, it almost is unfair to keep calling it a niche series now. If you debut it higher than the new Tales of game and the new Monster Hunter game, you're not really niche anymore. At least in my view.
I'll just have to add it to my long list of 100+ hour backlog games if I can ever stop playing Final Fantasy 14.
I mean, I got to play 100+ hours of Final Fantasy 14 in order to be able to catch up to certain things. So
How far are you?
I am attempting to reach Heaven's Ward.
That's my favorite.
I'm in 5.5. I just started 5.5.
Oh, you're so close. The game's about to just slam down the throttle and never let up. It's so close.
I did a few streams. One stream on the Coils of Bahamut, another on Crystal Tower. So those are all done and dusted. So now I just got to get through 5.5.
The MSQ grind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good though.
Man, I just underlining again what I didn't know was the written content in SMT5. Daojin number 15 in our YouTube chat. By the way, new name. Nice to see new names in our chat. Welcome. Hello. Saying Demon Girl called me a fuckboy. Lol. Really? That's. I feel like I need to play this game just for the writing alone. This is this is cracking me up. I had no idea. That's fantastic.
Oh man.
Oh man.
It's wild from what I've seen, and just seeing some of these reactions are certainly fun.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see how it all goes. Once we get those worldwide numbers, I think we'll have a better idea of what we're looking at.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Before we move on, we got $4.99 super chat from Hustlebun saying, glad to see Beautiful Katamari and Time Splitters 2 finally got backwards compatibility on Xbox, but please pour one out for Jet Set Radio Future. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that soon. I'm not actually going to pour this because then I'll be pouring coffee on myself, but imagining I'm pouring this. Yeah.
Watcher TL with his $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Saying it's actually Godhood awaits is the new tagline. Sorry, I mixed that up.
Well, dethroning God kind of comes part and parcel with replacing God and becoming the new.
Exactly.
So it all works.
There is
war.
I mean, in SMT, there is kind of the idea of being one God, and that one God being the leader of the Order Chaos, Order faction. So, yeah, okay, sure.
It all applies.
And then Blueberry in the chat throwing down saying Shadowbringers is better than Heaven's Ward.
Yeah, we go back and forth about that a lot. It's very close to me, but there's something about the old school fantasy elves and dragons that I just edges out Shadowbringers ever so slightly for me personally.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
Debate.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next story, which ostensibly is about Halo, but there's a lot more to talk about thanks to Microsoft. So let's bring that up. So, Halo Infinite, in a surprise announcement, The multiplayer is out right now ahead of the full release, and it has already become the most successful Microsoft Game Studios game on Steam ever, outselling the Master Chief Collection, or outdoing the numbers of the Master Chief Collection. And not only that, but outside of this Microsoft conference, 20th anniversary celebration, we got a final list of backwards compatibility games, 76 in total, as well as 37 new games that got an FPS boost. So, pretty good day for Microsoft. Definitely the biggest news of the day, because Halo Infinite multiplayer for free out of nowhere. Boom.
Yeah. Right. And this was something we mentioned before that our previous TNT guest, Nate the Hate, kind of broke the news on Friday. But then at like an 11th hour update was like, oh, this actually might not be happening. It's going to happen later in November. And then it happened anyway. So, yeah, Halo Infinite, free to play today, multiplayer at least. And I got to say, I kind of mentioned this on Friday, but I'm starting to have real FOMO now with the Xbox Series consoles. And, I already wanted to play Psychonauts 2. I really want to play some Forza. And I'm not a Halo guy, but I kind of want to just get in on this with everybody. And just, even if I'm going to get my ass beat, which I would, I still kind of want to be part of the hype here. Because Halo Infinite, even for someone like me, I realized just how long time in coming this has been. And I kind of want to be in there with everybody, just enjoying the hype. So hopefully I can get my hands on a Series X sooner rather than later. But this is great. Halo fans are eating. They deserve it. It's been a long time coming. And people, from what I can tell, the general sentiment seems to be people are enjoying it. Except maybe not Monkey Joe in our live audience patron chat, because Monkey Joe says, Halo Infinite is not working for me. And I'm so sorry, Joe. That sucks. No. I hope you can get it working soon. Mm-hmm. That's really unfortunate. But generally, people seem to be pretty happy with it.
Yeah. Majora Z in the YouTube chat says, as a huge Halo fan, this is the first time I've seen the community /fan base this happy with the series in over half a decade. And yeah, I think that's the big point here.
Great. Yeah, the last couple, I played the crap out of the first one, and then I've dabbled in some of the later ones. But like, I have a lot of friends that played some of the more recent ones, and they're like excited about it, and then they just were just go down on it the moment they came out. So I mean, the fans obviously deserve something great, and if everybody's on board with it, that's awesome. I mean, I guess we'll see in the long run when the full game comes out. But at least the multiplayer seems to be well received.
Yeah. Denim McJeans in our live audience chat says, oh my God, if I ran into Ash in the lobby, I don't know if I could kill him. Trust me, you might not have a choice. All you would have to, I am so bad at FPSs. All you need to do is glance in my general direction and I'm probably dead. So you may just do it by accident, to be honest. It would take very little effort to take me out in a first-person shooter.
You did all right in Quake.
You're right. That's true. I had a few good runs where I actually came very close to winning a couple of games in Quake. I'll give you that. That's true.
There you go.
But yeah, as Rob Arman X says, though, Derek is who you need to watch out for. When we played Quake with our patrons a couple of months ago, I don't think any of us expected that Derek would emerge as like the FPS champion of us GVG crew members. He slaughtered us.
I'm not infallible. Steve won the first round. I won all the others. I didn't win every round.
All the others, yeah.
It's the old
I gotta
you gotta let them win.
Mario Kart.
Yeah. Gotta let them in, put the money down, and then you just clean up, right? That's all you were doing.
Man, I wish we were playing for money. I would not even realized I could do that, because that was the first time I ever played Quake. So.
Oh, jeez.
Right. I guess another side to this story is the fact that they did announce what is ultimately the last backwards compatibility update for Xbox Series X. Due to, I guess, licensing and technical issues. And I have to say, it is a shame that this service is ending. Well, not service, that the updates to backwards compatibility are ending. But I really appreciate Microsoft's transparency here by saying, hey, it's over. And not just letting people wonder. Like Nintendo with the Nintendo Switch Online updates, like the NES, SNES, N64 game updates. Who the fuck knows when we're getting the next drops of those? We have no idea when they're coming, how often they're coming, if it's going to be cool stuff. But at least with Microsoft, the transparency is here. They're just like, hey, we're really sorry. These updates are ending, but at least you know they're ending, so you don't just sit in perpetuity waiting for more, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the big thing from this is that the backward compatibility program was on hold as of 2 years ago, and returned only today for the 20 years. Basically, according to this Peggy Lowe, there is the reason that these 70 plus titles got chosen is because of the passion feedback from the community, and they requested specific titles and enhancements, which encouraged the backwards compatibility team to partner and go to the original creators and try to preserve some of these games, and really make it happen. So
there's some good games on the list too.
Yeah, I do feel bad for the people who, like, it feels wrong that Jet Set Radio Future was not one of them.
That and Lost Odyssey. I saw some complaints that Lost Odyssey didn't make the cut, and that is a shame because that was a really unique, great game from the 360 days that I would like to have seen carried forward. But you can't have it all for sure. But yeah, there are definitely some missing titles here. But overall, what they've been able to accomplish with backwards compatibility, I think, is pretty impressive.
There's some wild picks in here. Advent Rising, Avatar: The Burning Earth. Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Chicken Little.
Yeah, Chicken Little.
All the fear. Whoa, yo, Ridge Racer 6? I missed that. Okay, another reason. God, Ridge Racer 6 made it. I love that game so much.
Well, we just got Ash excited.
Yeah, you know how I love Ridge Racer. That's pretty cool, though. SpongeBob made it. Underpants Slam, for you Underpants Slam fans out there. That made it on.
Yay.
Yay, I guess. I don't know how many Underpants Slam fans there are out there.
Do you have a Series X, Kenshin?
I do not. As a whole, I've not been super big on buying Xboxes because I usually have a pretty high-end gaming PC, so I generally know that if it comes to Xbox, it's going to come out on PC. So I've never necessarily had the urge to buy one, but there are definitely some titles I'm like, do I want to wait until it comes out on PC? So as of now, no, but possibly one day. I do play a number of Xbox games on Bloob's Xbox though. She's recently got me to play like Ori, for instance, which I absolutely love.
Ooh.
So good.
Oh, nice.
That is quite good. I still need to play the sequel.
Oh yeah, I'm almost done the first one, so I can get to the sequel myself.
Nice.
Oh, go ahead, Derek.
I was just looking through some of the other choices on here. That's it. Actually, Mr. L mentioning in the YouTube chat was hoping for OG non-remastered versions of Silent Hill 2 and 3. That would have been awesome.
Oh, I
preserve
wish.
Those.
Yeah. Those games need to be available in a modern context that isn't the HD collection re-releases that Konami bungled so badly.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 and 3, 1, 2, and 3 all deserve to be maintained and preserved for all time if possible.
Ooh, I see Dragon Age getting the FPS boost. I just started streaming those, and I'm so into it already.
Nice.
Dragon Age Origins, yeah.
Nice.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I only played a little bit of the original, so
it's phenomenal. I think I'm only like 5 or 6 hours into it. I'm already so hooked.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that FPS boost list that's what also really has me hyped about all this. Like, straight up, you guys, Sonic Generations FPS boost is just as compelling a reason for me to get a Series X as pretty much anything else. Halo Infinite, Forza 5. Yeah. Sonic Generations is already fantastic. Playing it at a better frame rate. Oh my god. Sonic Unleashed as well. Derek, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Like, there's some hype stuff on this list for FPS boost.
I mean, I will go to my grave saying All-Stars Racing Transformed is a better kart racer than Mario Kart 8.
I agreed. I know that's a hot take, but it's one that you and I have long agreed on, man. And FF13-2's on here. Lightning Returns, not as big on that one, but 13-2 I love. And man, it's just more and more the reasons for me to get a Series X ASRT are just getting longer every single minute.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Rob Armanex, he's right there with me hype wise. Unleash is at locked 60 FPS. WTF is this universe, right? I love it, man. This is hype. This is cool. I really love what Xbox.
I've seen on Twitter demonstrations of Unleashed in 60 FPS, and it does look nice. So
I bet it does. I've got it. This has got to happen. Mirror's Edge, Nier. There's some great stuff on this list.
Yeah, Nier.
Vandal Hearts. You love Vandal Hearts, right, Derek?
I don't think I've ever played that one.
Wasn't that the one, the side-scrolling, hand-drawn side-scrolling game about World War II?
No, I think that
Was that a different one?
is that one. Hold on.
I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, and I really do want to see Mirror's Edge with the FPS boost.
No, that's some sort of. Oh, sorry.
It's a different game. Yeah, my bad. I was completely mistaken.
Some tactical RPG with quite an art style. Okay.
Not my Gears of War.
Yeah, and
yeah,
every Gears of War. That's awesome.
Yeah, every single one. Yeah, big fan base there. 60
Absolutely.
FPS.
Thank you,
That's
FPS
nice.
Boost List, for reminding me that I need to play Nier Replicant. I never got around to that, but I really wanted to play that.
It's right at the top of my backlog too. I have it. It's installed.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I love Automata, so it's right there.
Oh, that game is just chef's kiss, man. I love that game.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. But yeah, there's some really hype stuff here, and I feel like I think Steve touched on this on Friday, and while I feel like the Xbox Series consoles are a little bit slow out of the gate, I feel like they're really gaining, especially compared to the PS5. I think they're really gaining momentum now, and it's certainly I have a PS5, but now I'm like really wanting an Xbox Series X for completely different reasons, and I'm loving it.
I love my PS5, and there's some nice stuff here. Like I said, I'm thinking about it. More than anything, I'm just glad to see some of these games having a chance to reach a larger audience, because there's some great games that were either PlayStation exclusives or maybe came over late, and now maybe this will give people a chance to play them. And like we've been talking about, there's a lot of great titles on here.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing. It almost seems like PlayStation gets the beginning of the year and Microsoft gets the end of the year, because PlayStation seems to have some good titles coming out the beginning of the year next year. So.
Oh yeah, Horizon at the top. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Horizon.
Yeah.
Frequent Positron in our patron chat asks any word on how Steve thinks about the Xbox stuff, and of course I don't want to put words in his mouth, but given that we did co-found GVG together, and he's a very good friend of mine, I think I know how he thinks to a degree, and I think he's pretty hyped about all this stuff. I know he's been trying out Halo Infinite today, and I think he briefly mentioned it earlier that he's really enjoying it. I think
he might stream it, but I'm not sure if it's going for just patrons or if he'll do it on YouTube.
Yeah, he might stream it tonight. We're not quite sure yet, but yeah, I know he's enjoying that. And he's been pushing me to get a Series X for a long time now. He's like, dude, get one for Forza. I've wanted one since they showed Forza. He's like, dude, it delivers. You need to get one. He's been, get Game Pass. He's been proselytizing Game Pass forever. So he's a big fan of, I think, where Xbox is at in general right now. And I think he feels pretty good about all the news that came out today.
Yeah, it's a good set. Microsoft had a good day, a lot of hype around it, and it being free and out, it does make me curious about Halo, but again, time. I don't know when I'll have the time. Yeah. Maybe as like doing our fighting with patrons, we can actually play together, do that way. I don't know.
By the way, Monkey Joe fixed Halo. That wasn't too long. Nicely done, Monkey Joe. I'm glad you can play the game now. Glad it didn't take too long. And yeah, I don't want to promise that Steve is streaming Halo Infinite tonight, everybody, but he mentioned that he might. So don't take it to the bank, but keep an eye out on our Twitter for possible news. But I don't want to promise.
We'll see what he does. But good on Microsoft. Great stuff. So let's go ahead. We got a few more super chats before we get to our final story. First up, once again from Flame Chan with $2 super chat saying Meta Knight from Kirby versus Zero from Mega Man X.
That's Zero easy. Come on. Let's be.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Like Brawl Meta Knight, maybe Brawl Meta Knight could put up a fight, but I think Zero wins this pretty handily.
Yeah,
although I mean,
Meta Knight
Zero
can kind of hold his own against Kirby, but also never has beaten Kirby.
That's true.
That's true. It's Meta Knight hold his own to a degree against a god killer. So maybe the power scaling here is a bit different than I'm thinking, but I just feel like Zero wins this. And I think don't Screw Attack agree? Didn't Screw Attack do a Zero versus Meta Knight video?
Did they
years ago? And I think Zero won.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. I missed that one.
Yeah, same.
I feel like it's got to be Zero.
That's fair. That's probably what I pick. Carnage Ghost with the $5 super chat. Basically getting into, I know it happens 45 minutes into the game, Carnage Ghost, but I feel like that's still kind of a shock because 45 minutes is a decent amount of time. If it was the first cutscene, then I'd be a little bit more inclined to read your entire thing. But I can see why they have that as the tagline, and it makes sense. I just don't want to read it out loud, but I do appreciate the super chat.
Sure.
Very much so. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And also, it's a new name, Carnage Ghost. Nice to see you in the chat.
Absolutely.
Super chat or not, it's just nice to see new names participating in our TNT stream. So welcome to the show, and thank you for the super chat, and just thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Majora Z with a $2 super chat, saying, Ash, if you play Halo, sent a Twitter DM with info. So basically, they're challenging you to a fight.
That. Thank you so much, Majora Z. I saw that, and I still need to respond to you. But thank you very much. It won't be immediately, but I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I will be playing Halo, and I will be using some of your advice, and I'll certainly respond to you. Thank you.
Yeah, or maybe they want to group up and carry you. You know, it could go both ways.
That would be the better way to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to be carried. Yeah.
Get you the practice reps.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And then Rob Arman X with a $5 super chat says, appreciate the Xbox love in the show today. Normally my super chats go towards Ash's keyboard fund, but now begins his Series X fund.
Thank you. Yeah, those Series X's aren't cheap, so I appreciate that, Rob. Thank you very much.
I've been trying to help my sister find one for Christmas gift reasons. So I'm like, oh, good, cool. I get to do this whole rigmarole again that I did with the PS5. Lovely.
Really quick, Hinaru77 in our YouTube chat asks, who is that on your shirt, Ash? And Hinaru is actually one of our newest executive producers on our Patreon. So thank you very much for joining us, Hinaru, as an EP. But also, this is Titus, and it's just the laughing shirt. I saw this at Anime Expo, and that was just one of those things where I'm like, you don't think about whether you buy this shirt or not. You're buying it because and I've gotten so many comments on it in the years since. One of the best shirts I've ever bought.
Such a memed and misunderstood
Exactly.
scene.
That's the problem.
It's a great game. It's a great scene. It really is. But
it is.
Man.
It is.
Oh, I wanted to say something earlier. I love the shirt.
Much.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I have you can't see it, but I also have my matching Titus necklace here. So yeah, big FF10 fan here.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then talk Final Fantasy sometime.
Oh yeah, you need to work on convincing Ash to play 14.
Oh, let's talk. I talk Final Fantasy all day every day.
I want to play 14. That literally is just a matter of not having enough time. I had a month subscription, and in that month, I got to level 8, and I didn't even get out of my starting region. That's how bad it is. And I'm just like, I know I'm not going to be able to put in the hundreds of hours necessary to get to all the amazing content, even though I want to.
Oh, it comes down to, I think, how you view it and how you play it, and if you have time to game at all. Because like I always talk about in my stream, and I don't want to derail, but it's really a JRPG masquerading as an MMO, not really your traditional MMO.
Yeah,
it's a single player game you can play with friends. It's phenomenal, especially once you get through Heaven's Ward. Oh.
And I'm a hardcore Final Fantasy fan, so all the fan service would be
so much
right up my alley. Yeah.
I went through Crystal Tower, and the way they handled fan service in that section was great.
I won't spoil anything, but if you're a big Final Fantasy fan, there's a it's called a trial. It's basically a summon fight that you have at the end of 5.3, so towards the end of Shadowbringers, and you'll lose your mind. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's way down the line. You got to get there. I won't say anything else. I don't want to spoil. I'm anti-spoilers, but Final Fantasy spoilers everywhere. Easter eggs, so much goodness. It's phenomenal. Yeah, so much fan service.
So many names thrown around and then recontextualized. So it's good stuff.
Yes.
Oscar Navarro with a $2 super chat saying Master Chief versus Samus.
Oh man,
Samus.
I think this has to go to Samus, especially given what we see her do in Dread. Even before Dread, I feel like she probably takes this, but after Dread, I think she definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, though, I don't know the full extent of Chief's capabilities. I could be wrong, but I feel like
strong
Samus
punch and lots of guns.
Yeah. I personally didn't have much experience with Metroid at all until watching Blueberry play Super recently, and so I've been kind of learning more about it as of late, and so now it's up in the air for me. I honestly don't know. I would have said Master Chief. Now I'm on the fence, but like from what I've seen, like I was seeing the trailers for Dread and everything, I'm like, man, Samus is pretty awesome. I could see it. I could definitely see it, and that suit is pretty awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and she seems just faster.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
she's
much
way
faster.
faster and more agile and athletic than Chief. And I feel like not only that, but she's got the firepower to at least match him,
A match,
if
yeah,
not overwhelm him, between her beam weapons, her storm missiles, her
yeah,
other missiles, her
Yeah.
yeah,
spoiler, what else she can do.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna say,
exactly.
but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like the more it's so many more games, so much more lore, so much more in the ways of weaponry and abilities. It's definitely skewed that way from my amount of research, at least. So if I can see that, I feel like I have to agree with you guys. Probably Samus. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then finally, Carnage Ghost with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, I've been around for a while, but I don't comment. And I did a super chat on the September 23rd. Well, awesome. Thank you for sticking
Oh,
around.
great. Well, thank you so
Nice.
much. And thank you for sticking around with us, Carnage Ghost. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And happy to have you here. Thank you.
Well, you know what else is sticking around? Our fifth story. Let's bring it up. PAX East has been announced for April 21st to April 24th and has been also confirmed to be a fully vaxxed event. You will not get in unless you are fully vaxxed, have your proof, and are wearing an approved mask. So, yeah, that's
Sounds good to me. I will be there, have my vaccine proof, and have my approved mask ready to go and cover games and have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. That was really the only confirmation I needed. And I figured after the success of PAX West as a fully vaxxed event, they would probably do the same for PAX East.
Yeah, love to see PAX coming back and being around. Never made it to a PAX, always wanted to. I have to read all the stuff because it is kind of sad because some people medically can't be vaxxed. So
Yeah.
That's true.
it's really unfortunate.
yeah. So I wonder if there's a way to work around, but not necessarily work around, but be able to have something for people who can't. But
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there you go. It's back, April 21st.
I
wonder if
appreciate that it's in April because it should be less cold.
Yeah, and then February.
Yeah, those February PAX events, I've had times where I'm just freezing going back to the hotel.
Yep.
It's interesting. I was actually
Boston.
thinking that maybe this was just going to be the same as PAX West, where it was either vaccination or proof of a negative COVID test within
Yeah.
72 hours. But it does seem as though, reading the fine print, that it's not a negative COVID test won't cut it. You have to actually show proof of vaccination. And while in general I'm in favor of that, I do agree with you, Ken, that does really screw over people who medically don't have the choice to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And that I feel not great about. And I do wish there was some way to extend an olive branch to those people.
Yeah, because there's so many layers to it. Not to go down that whole rabbit hole, but
Sure.
it would be nice to know that there is an alternative option, and maybe that they get to that in future years as we hopefully get further and further away. But for at least now, at least PAX is back, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's still a few months before April. They may modify this before then
True.
to be what PAX West was, which was just show proof of a negative COVID test. So there's still a bit of time before that.
do the rapid testing there. I mean, I'm also a union actor, and you have to get tested almost every day on set, and they test you. And you're good to go. Okay, on to the next one. It's doable. I don't know if they want to shell out the expense for that. I guess you could, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think this for us, Team GVG, I think that this makes it a lot more likely that we'll be there covering the show, or at least a few of us will.
Yeah.
Should have hopefully more
Derek's schedule is
content.
Yeah.
Then
Hopefully we'll have
PAX
more
West.
content than PAX West. I think we're glad we went to PAX West, but there is definitely a lack of games to actually cover there on the show floor. So while I think the intention is for us to go, we'll have to, of course, play it by ear and see what's actually going to be there. But I love traveling. I've missed traveling. I've missed conventions.
Same.
I want to do fan meetups. So
Yeah.
I feel like at least one or two of us will probably invariably end up at PAX East.
Makes
I
sense.
love conventions.
Maybe
It's
all
so
of us,
sad
who
to see
knows?
them go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're back. And there should be a lot
they're
of things
back,
to
yeah.
announce around then.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah. It's so nice seeing shows come back just in general. It's been for people like us who love traveling and interacting with our community and seeing our friends in the industry, catching up. Not having that for over a year has been really difficult. So bring it on.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out there, getting to travel.
Yeah, and you've never
Return
been
to
to a
norm.
PAX.
I have not. No, PAX has been the one thing that was on my list. I had it penciled in. I was ready to go 2020, and then obviously that got derailed because I missed out on East because I went to MagFest. I was like, I had to pick one or the other. And then so I was like, I'll go to one of the ones later in the year, and then obviously we know what happened there. So I mean, fingers crossed soon. Maybe this one.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could make it. We could all meet up. And
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Blueberry, PAX was the last con I went to as well. That's I've not been to one since.
PAX East
Basically the
was,
last one,
right.
Yeah.
It was major.
Under 77 asks, wonder if E3 will return, and that's its own conversation.
Yeah.
E3 was in a weird place last year, and I think last year proved that E3 isn't really, unfortunately, needed by the big three, and I don't think that's. I'm of two minds on it, because on one hand, screw the ESA for doxing all those journalists a couple of years ago, including us.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, E3 is really good for indie and other smaller studios.
That's great. Yeah,
and that's really important for them. And then so while I do have my issues with the ESA, I would rather not see E3 go the way of the dodo for the benefit of these smaller studios who really do rely on that direct in-person networking. So we'll see how it goes. But online E3, I think, is not necessary. I think this last year proved it.
Yeah, I mean, E3's just been around for so long. It's a staple of like the convention circuit. And I don't know if with PAX and MagFest and everything coming back and everything kind of, the operating, like I see no reason why they couldn't resurrect it and bring it back to the norm, especially if all continues to go well. So hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, especially if LA's response to COVID, I mean, like LA right now has the most restrictive COVID measures in place in the nation, in the US. And so if that's still the case come E3 time next year, I can't really see why they wouldn't necessarily want to hold it, given that those really strict mandates are in place for all entertainment venues and all convention centers. So that definitely does lower the risk considerably.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll see as things shift and hopefully get better. I don't know. We'll see. I still would need to find a babysitter. That's my old big thing.
Right.
No, true.
That's
that's definitely, it's tougher in a way for you in a different way than it is for me. I can just pick up and go, not having a kid, but my wife and I have that freedom of traveling, and I can just go do what I need to do. But when you have kids, I know it's completely different.
Yeah, especially when we don't live next to any of the grandparents, so we're out
of the family lifeline. Dang.
Brandon Bovia, actually bragging.
I wasn't trying to, but I guess it could be taken away, but I was just,
that's all right. You have your freedom. I have a tiny human that loves me completely.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
that
good.
laugh was so that was just so good after that comment. But
ha 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 ha. Is that better?
Oh, yeah, much better. Much better.
Oh, goodness. Man. We'll see what happens with PAX. I'm just glad we have a chance of being warm.
Yes.
But
much warmer in April in Boston.
I would hope so. But with that said, that is all of the news for today. Nothing too crazy, but hey, a lot of stuff to play on Microsoft or Xbox if you're interested in that. But in the meantime, Kenshin, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kenshin_Cloud or on Twitter at the Kenshin Cloud because someone took my name and it's an inactive account, so I had to do that. But stream at least 4 days a week and a lot of JRPG story-driven games and of course Final Fantasy 14. So yeah,
awesome.
What we do.
Awesome. Definitely check them out. Good stuff. Good streams.
It's been a real pleasure having you on the show, and I would love to talk Final Fantasy with you sometime. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Anytime. Love to. Thanks for having me.
We'll definitely have you back on TNT for sure. It's been a huge pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
love to come back.
Derek, before you take us out, I just wanted to remind people really quick that we are doing a GVG first anniversary stream tomorrow. We kicked our first anniversary was last week, and we celebrated it with a private Discord stream with our amazing community. But now we're making the party public, and we're doing a YouTube stream for all tomorrow. All day, starting at 10 a.m. We're going to be going for hours. We're going to be playing
that's Pacific time.
A bunch of stuff with each other.
10 a.m. Pacific,
10 a.m.
1 p.m. Eastern.
Exactly. We're going to be playing Mario Kart. We're going to be playing Smash. We're going to be playing Mario Party. We're going to be playing all sorts of good stuff, just having a good time. Good friends, good vibes, good games.
Oh, man.
Come hang out for as long as you want, but we will be doing the anniversary party stuff tomorrow. So look forward to that.
New Mario Party is so fun.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah. Hey, if we somehow make it to 75K during that, I don't know how we would, but would give away the Switch OLED during that.
Yeah, that would be cool if we got to 75K during that. That's a lot of subs in a single stream. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you know what? Come by and hang out and have fun. That's all. That's all it takes. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Before we completely end this off, though, there is one more super chat from Rob Arman X with a $5 super chat saying, "Here's the beginning of the Derek, Amy, and Kai babysitter fund." There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob, so much.
So, of course, we got to give a big thank you to all of our patrons. The fact that you've supported us this long is amazing. It is appreciated. It is incredible. Thank you so much. And, of course, an extra special thank you to our patrons at the producer tier, as this show simply would not be possible without all of you. And speaking of, because I don't have all the stuff, we gotta do the whole line readout. I almost forgot about that. It's like, oh God, I have a lot of names to read.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's extra long. Shake that ash today. Here we go.
Oh yeah. All right. Producers: Jared Edinger, Jacob One, Kurosame, Michael Walburn, Felix Nebulous, Don Koopman, Kevin Online, Sonic Kurosaki, Nick Munger, Arkwing24, Ben Madron, Chase Talbot, Chickens, Joshua Wiseman, Iggy Coop, Xyloon, Kirandis, Feeling Dreepy, Meowstick, Ariel H, Sapphire, Blind Man, Ryan Sardon Keller, Sam Nicholson, Darts, DJ Andy D, Joseph Bayer, Pedro Vasquez, Tony, I'll Be the Floof, Ian Seabach, Ben Frick, Guy of Gynus, Ben Morelli, Emil, Farina Renee, Andy Chung, PK Gaming, Legend of Jess, Shoichi, Chris Lewis, Daniel Codd, Bo Blacks, Gold Lichting, Smoko13, Michael Abuda, Akil P, Hello World, Alan the Young, Helen Kidcannon, Chris 2025, Coop Scrib, Mega Amster, Nicholas Van Roven, Dean Everger Jr., Chip Damage Mike, Blizzica, Abisola Oseni, Ghost Wolf, Jack Hines, Blaze 25, Inferno Cali, Tom Chimiak, Taco My Salad, Jax, Willow Pingree, Gassan Abunera, The Frieza Force, Claxon, and Kim. Thank you all so much. And of course, an extra special thank you to our executive producers and above. And that includes Brandon Bovia, Rob Arman X, Fangs, Dan Inchwhistle, Z Patty, Hyrule Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman 23, Adam O'Sullivan, Octo Puppet, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Romsky 113, Critter XD, Kitty Kong Fax, Angel Martinez, Vedran Hotek, Joshua Hunter, Evernight Studio, Benny Yao, Azran 127, Black King, Pagrama, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Orem M, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Killamox, The Legend of Groose, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, Kenneth Lee Stingle, Deaneth, Coda, Sci-Fi Lullabies, Michael McCall, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Hoobie, Too Much Spaghetti, Mega Conrad, Ascaron 809, Rioner, Ditto M, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, Nathan Steele, Spicy Pandaughter, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravelox, Synchro Lord, Rosa Bowling, hi Steve's mom, Kotar Peck, Scuff 196, Kane Woolley, Skull Kid Tiger, Darksteel 01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy, Town Darling, Dinner Sonic, Derek, Jeff Ed, Twilord, Maddie, Stag Nasty, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Screamo Shaman, Mason Riley, Keel, Santy the Person, Brendan Hess, Hustle Bun, Noah Fitterer, Rizamon, Calvin Atkinson, Tiffany Thomas, Hinaru 77, and Jessica Toad. Oh, my God, there's a lot of you, and it is appreciated every single one. My goodness.
Thank you all so much. Thank you very much. That list just keeps getting on. They're getting longer and longer.
It's amazing.
And remember that you too can become a patron over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where you can get access to our exclusive post show and ad-free content for as little as $5 a month. Make that list longer, make Ash dance longer, and just wipe us out.
I need the exercise
physically.
Please.
Yeah,
Make me
exactly.
dance longer. I need the exercise. Yeah.
Back up hype dance.
Yeah, exactly. Get Ash fit. That's all. That's how we're selling this. But thank you all. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Gaming for more good times like these. And until next time, good night and good vibes. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.